Hello, I'm Matt Dawsey. I'm the local territory manager for Lifetouch National School Studios. I'm here to tell you a story that's all about Psalms 118:8. A little over 2 years ago, my business really was having a tough year. I was basically down almost 9%. I think it was like 8.7%. And it's not good. A lot of changes in our business, and we certainly were trying to find the right way to reschedule and redo business. And our company had called for every territory to put together a business plan. So in preparing the business plan, a lot of what you do is you go back and you look at the last plan you did, and you use about half of the same kind of stuff, and once you get your plan built, then you try to add in some of what you heard at a corporate meeting last year and make it sound like you know how to listen to what they're telling you to do. And of course, my previous year's plan necessarily wasn't working too well, and it was pretty tough, you know, with the down business we were in. And I was trying to prepare this from the stance of, you know, how much more down am I going to be, and trying to lessen that drop. And so instead of dealing with, a loss of 9%, I was just trying to come in flat, not losing more, not even talking about gaining or anything. So I had to start my trip out early that morning to head to Macon for this meeting. Along the way, I was listening to a lot of different Christian radio stations. As you're on the interstate, you jump around trying to find whatever you can. And after a while, I started looking around and looking at my notes and stuff, but down on my seat was the sermon notes from the church we were going to at the time. And on there, I started reviewing a very good sermon that we had. And on the sermon notes was the key scripture, Psalms 118, verse 8. And that's better to trust in God than the confidence of any man. And of course, most of us have heard that plenty of times before. But this time, it started, resonating. And I was trying to think about that more than my plan. Then on the radio comes a Rich Mullins song. It's called Creed, and it really just released a new presence in me. Part of that song, the key words were, "Is the very truth of God and not the invention of any man." And lo and behold, here I am singing to this song, and it's the same scripture. At that point, I had that moment with God. I was by myself on the road. Tears were flowing, and singing away at the top of my lungs I could, and just realizing that, for a third time, God had reassured me that this plan was going to be handled, and that I wouldn't have to continue to worry about it. I had another hour to go on the road, and now I'm thinking, okay, I got some guy from corporate there as the VP of photography, and my boss is there and stuff, and what I do, I walk in and get past the hellos, and the first 15 minutes is all about the new plan. And obviously they didn't see that coming. I was telling this whole story, same thing, telling all about Psalms 118:8. And they listened, I'll give them that. They didn't stop me. But that was the premise for this whole plan to come. And what was neat about it is every time I'd go through part of the plan, it would come right back to Psalms 118:8. I took that and came home with it. Same plan, but a new outlook. And so what did I do? I went to my core group of people that I work with. The first thing I did, I called them in and said, "Look guys, here's the plan, but I want to tell you about Psalm 118:8 and what happened to me." And they understood it. I wouldn't say they bought into it, but they knew that this was something that was going to be the start of something different. It was neat to see as the year went, everything lined up ahead. And I never thought that my plan was just trying to figure out how to get back to zero or not lose anything. It all started with God. I knew I had a decent year. I was up about 10%. I'd already seen that God returned everything that had been lost the year before. And I didn't expect anything from it. I certainly was glad to tell people about it. The year ended up over 10%. I thought maybe in my region, that's the southeast Florida, southeast part of the United States, Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, that, I might be in the top 3 there. No big deal. The meeting last day, you go to the national part of the meeting and they give out all the national awards, and I've never ever even thought something like that could come my way. 4 different times I had to go up to get an award. It's not about the awards. I don't care about those. I didn't ever want to be there in the first place. But to wrap it up, they decided to, when they gave out the overall Territory of the Year awards, I did get the first runner-up, but it's not about me getting this, as I really feel strange even holding this. It showed me that God could bring me so far just in a morning ride, and I really understood what learning to trust in God and not listening to the confidence of any other man. Because I heard it too many times with people up on the stage that wanted to tell me how to do something. But, this is, regardless of the words on here, every time I see this, I think of Psalms 118:8. Everybody needs to understand, no matter what financial situation we're in, or what economic crisis this country's in, God's bigger.